not a huge fan of Invisimancer, but I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, I give him like a 5, which is playable, but I don't know. A lot of people hate him. He gets no love. This pick's easy. I mean, there's not even anything on our colors besides the Glinthawk Idol, and when you're playing White X Metalcraft, Glinthawk Idol is honestly one of my favorite cards to pick up. It's a 2/2 flyer for 2, which already in limited is awesome, and it avoids a lot of sorcery speed removal, just the fact that it only turns on your turn or whenever you want it to, and it's also an artifact. It's amazingly good. It performs much better in aggro decks, but still, even in a control deck, when it's beating them every turn for 2, all of a sudden it's turn 8, and you know you've already hit them for like 6 or 8. It's great. It's a great card. And then I'm glad that card's in here, because if that were a card off of our colors, we wouldn't really have much to take in here. Oh, Moriok Reaver. I really like Barony Vampire a lot more than Moriok Reaver. It was the same card, but Barony Vampire was just hotter. Huh. Again, I think another easy pick. This is a good pack. Really good poison, the Hand to Praetorus and the Plague Stinger. Really good blue, obviously, with Volition Reins and Trinket Mage. And then Trigon of Corruption is just, I mean, can't ask for too much better of uncommons to fit our kind of white-black pseudo Metalcraft deck. Yeah, these picks are actually pretty boring in this pack so far. I really like picks where it's like, you know, it's a decision between 4 or 5 different cards, and like there's color direction changes that you can make, and requires a lot of decision making and thought process and awareness of what has already happened and what you've seen and what you haven't seen. Picks like this are just like, yeah, that's the best card for your deck. No one can really argue that. So yeah, boring pick, but we're happy to see it. So and so, like I was talking about Flesh Elegy before, we really don't have that many. Actually, we don't really have any really good creatures to sack to it. All the creatures that we have, we probably want to be keeping, unless it's really late game and we have a Fume Spitter or one of these Gold Mirror. And other than that, so we're not gonna take the Flesh Elegy. I'm really hoping we see a late Bleak Coven, because we need a little bit more Metalcraft here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Origin Spellbomb. I really like this card. It cycles itself, gives you a dude that puts you on Metalcraft. But I think right now we're lacking some of the better Metalcraft cards like Bleak Coven, but good thing they go late. I think if I had to place a bet, I'm guessing we'll see one of these Bleak Covens. Just gotta be patient. So, Origin Spellbomb, cool, 1-drop, that's fine. This is good. We already have 23 playables. I probably don't want to be playing all those cards, but it's good to have a deck that you can play at the beginning of Pack 3, because then you're just really improving the quality over the course of Pack 3, rather than just getting cards that you desperately need. And we could take the Chrome Steed, because we were just talking about how we need more Metalcraft cards, but I think the Tumble Magnet has better synergy with the Glinthawk, and Chrome Steed is just kind of a dude for 4, a 4/4 for 4, and we already have one that's better than Chrome Steed. Yeah, I like Tumble Magnet here. A lot of people would argue against me, but I don't think we're aggro enough for this. Our deck isn't, you know, like turn 3 slam down a ton of artifacts and hope to be bashing with a Chrome Steed. I would really like to slow roll these cards, and even the Trigon of Corruption late game is really powerful. So we have some cards that can really help us out late game. Nothing exciting here. Literally nothing exciting. We could hate draft this Plague Stinger. However, I'm not actually going to do that. And a lot of people are saying, like, what else would you take? And might seem silly, but I'm going to take the Ichor Claw Mirror. I like taking the Ichor Claw Mirror to side in against Infect. Obviously, it doesn't do anything against Plague Stinger, but there are Blight Mambas, other Ichor Claw Mirrors, just cards that this guy is really good on the defense against Poison. And so we're going to keep this guy as a sideboard. We're obviously not going to be playing Plague Stinger or Grafted Exoskeleton, and none of the other cards are even on our colors. So Ichor Claw Mirror has the most potential in our deck, even though he's probably just going to sit in the sideboard for the most part. There we go. We like seeing that late Rusted Relic. And that's also a much better card than the Chrome Steed. So, yeah. And there's nothing else here. Again, these picks are just... That last pick there was a little bit interesting, because I think some people would have hated that Plague Stinger. And I think the Ichor Claw Mirror is definitely the right choice. The Rusted Relic's easily the pick here. I'll go ahead and take it. And be happy that there was a good card in this pack for us. We got lots of artifacts here. We're probably going to end up cutting a few. Huh, too bad, let's see, too bad we're not blue. That's a really good blue card. I don't think we're going to be playing Clone Shell. We only have 13 creatures, and some of them may be getting cut. But we shall see. The card that we already have, an A Quarter Shield. A lot of our dudes already fly, so I'm not going to worry about Bladed Pinions. I mean, we have the Glinhawk, the Idols, Auriok Sunchaser. So yeah, I'm going to take the second Auriok Sunchaser, because we do have an obscene amount of artifacts right here, and I think that we may be able to get these guys online. And this is why you don't take those early, because had we taken those early, we wouldn't have the metal to support the rest of it. I think blue was actually really open in this draft. There just wasn't a lot of good blue in the packs. Because you see these cards that you definitely pick up if you're blue. And they're going late, but it's just, even the packs that we opened, there wasn't a lot of really solid blue. Otherwise, we probably would have moved into it. I like to side in Volshock Replica against Poison. He blocks Despair really well. He blocks Ichor Claw Mirror really well. Obviously, he's fragile, being an artifact and 1 toughness, but I have seen him do good things. And sometimes I take these cards because I always think, like, man, what if they have a ton of equipment? And they never do. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here we're going to play, so let's go ahead and hate draft this Bellowing Tangleworm, because I think it's the best card out of these. And nothing here again. We already talked about taking the Ichor Claw Mirror as a sideboard against Poison. We have some pretty decent sideboard for Poison. Some people, I guess you could play the... Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and take this Life Staff, because if we do end up playing these Sun Chasers, the Life Staff might be good. Not to pump them up, but just to put a fast artifact out on the board. And yeah, it gets in there for an extra 1, but that's less of my concern. More of my concern is just turning these into 3/3 flyers, not necessarily pumping them +1/+0. And what are we more scared of? Flameborn Hellion. Miasma. Screeching Silklaw, I picked those up really late in blue decks, because if your opponent goes turn 2 Plague Stinger, this is a really, really good sideboard against Plague Stingers. But we don't have Plague Stingers, so we don't care.